Good Saturday morning. I'm meteorologist James Hopkins, and we're going to talk about some weather here. All things weather, of course. This is the usual time that we stream our weather show because we've got actually a lot to talk about. And I'm joined by Lee Southwick from our friends over at First Coast News, and got a lot going on this weekend. And for us, we got a lot going on this weekend. I think for both of us, though, the bigger story is going to be Monday night into Tuesday. I've been trying to think of where my coat is. I don't even know if I have. I don't even know if I ever unpacked one when I moved down here. But you're going to need one. That is for sure. But before then, Lee, we're going to talk about this weekend. You got a nice weekend ahead, pretty much.
We do. We have a great weekend ahead. I know that we are, of course, closely watching that cold front. Now, for us, the rain really doesn't arrive until later Sunday. So right now we're enjoying warmer weather. And first, I actually just have to show you guys how we started off our weekend great. We started it off with some space debris. Look at that in the sky. This was captured by one of our weather watchers, Brenda Cook Link. She's usually out at the Fernandina Beach area. And she saw this video around 6:17 a.m. It's not a meteor. It's not a rocket. There was a rocket launch scheduled this morning, but it got scrubbed. This is a satellite entering Earth's atmosphere, and it is breaking apart and burning up. This is normal. This is what's supposed to happen to satellites. So we have many different photos from across the First Coast. Stephen Davis sent these photos in, seeing that debris. You can see how it's broken up into a bunch of pieces. And then Jacksonville Beach right there. You could see that this one was sent in by Gene. So quite a cool start for those who were up and at 'em early this morning. So that one again out of Jax Beach. Now let's talk about Jax Beach and the coming hours. Big event there today. The Supergirl Surf Festival is happening, and the band Perry is playing tonight. At our beaches, we're going to see a high temperature right around 80 degrees. And so staying in the upper 70s to near 80s. You'll be warmer if you're inland across the First Coast. But for Jacksonville Beach, that's what I'm thinking. And also notice it says isolated shower. We're going to talk about the showers in just 1 second because it's already raining for some of you. But I'm just going to get through some of these events. I mean, we have so many. Taste of Amelia is happening in Amelia Island. Whiskey, Wine, and Wildlife is happening in Volano Beach. And again, out of the beaches, there's temperatures getting up into the upper 70s to near 80. Now, if you're going to Porch Fest in Springfield, you're getting into the 80s. It will be warm out there, but in the evening, feeling nice and comfortable as those temperatures drop down into the 70s. And same story for the fair, downtown Jacksonville. We're going to see temperatures in the lower 80s, so feeling a little toasty out there. But if you're staying late, you're going to see those temperatures drop into the upper 60s close to the time that it ends, which is ending and closing right around 11 o'clock this evening. So right now, as we look out the window across the First Coast, let's start in Jax Beach. As we mentioned, we have the Supergirl Surf Pro there. You can see all the people crowded on the beach watching those surfers. Temperatures in the 70s, right around 76 degrees. Now, different story for those in southeast Georgia. We have heavy rain moving across portions of Waycross, even some flashes of lightning there too. This is moving through the Blackshear area, Patterson. So those of you in southeast Georgia, you're dealing with heavy rain. In fact, let me zoom in on this too to get a better look at where that heaviest rain is currently. Look at all the lightning that was popping there. So different story for those in southeast Georgia today. Heavier rain for Blackshear through Hoboken. Nahunta, you're getting that rain. And this is pushing off to the east. We'll see if it makes it to places like Brunswick. I think we could definitely see some showers in the Brunswick and St. Simons Island area in the next couple of hours. But I'm going to zoom back out. You see a few of those showers working their way across the southern portion of our southeast Georgia area. And then across northeast Florida, dry right now, but we could have some rain again later on today. Just stray showers across northeast Florida, not a washout. So the other big story this weekend really is the heat with some near record highs. Temperatures in the low to middle 80s for both Saturday and Sunday. Both days have those rain chances. Just the timing of the rain really does differ. Whereas we have the rain right now across southeast Georgia, it will be late later in the night for our Sunday. So for today, for Saturday, we are sitting in the 80s, warm. Notice a few more showers possible this afternoon. Those isolated light showers across Northeast Florida. So if you're outside and you do see some rain, you don't have to cancel all the outdoor plans. Just wait it out a couple of minutes. It should be over fairly quickly. Different story for those of you in southeast Georgia with that heavy rain right now. Then, we blew right past it. Let's back it up. Here's that front. Okay, so let's have it approach Sunday afternoon. Some of you in places like Waycross, it's a Sunday afternoon event. For a lot of us in Northeast Florida, it's not until dinner time or closer to that, 5, 6, 7 o'clock, some more rain. And then more of that continues to move through later on our Sunday while a lot of us are wrapping up the day, getting ready for bed. Some of that heavier rain is possible. So that's the front moving through, and then temperatures will significantly drop after that. So James, I'm going to wait to talk about the big cool down because we just talked a lot about weekend stuff, and I know you guys have a lot happening this weekend too. So what does it look like in the Tampa Bay area?
Well, unfortunately for us, those storms are going to come a little bit earlier for us. So we do have an impact for those storms as we go throughout the day on Sunday. But much like you're talking about, we're looking at a beautiful day today. Today is our lowest chance for rain. So if you want to get out and enjoy today, those showers and storms will stay up to our north for today and for the most part offshore. You see, taking a live look around, do have a lot of blue sky out there. It had some thick fog this morning. That, of course, is all lifted. You can see a little bit of haze across the bay. Our air quality is moderate for the day today. As, again, we do have the haziness, but all in all, again, a pretty good start. Clearwater Beach looks great. Got a lot of people out there enjoying that, and more people than I would have thought actually in the water. Beach forecast is to be near 80 degrees between about 3, maybe around 3 o'clock. But look at that water temperature, 74 degrees. Now, for me personally, that's too cold. I got to be 80 and above. But again, there's probably a lot of people that are down here from the north that 74 is actually nice and warm. So if you're used to it, my kids would swim in 54-degree water. But again, I wouldn't. Small chance for rain today. Your marine forecast actually for today is going to be the best we've seen in actually a while. Winds are out of the south-southwest about 5, maybe up to 10. Very calm winds for the day today. The bay is smooth, seas at a foot. So definitely today is going to be the best for the boating. Now, tomorrow's not going to be bad, but you're going to be dodging some storms tomorrow. So again, it's not like the wind's picking up too much. That is going to come behind the cold front. So right now our temperatures upper 70s to some low and even mid 80s. It's 84 in Riverview right now. And you see the temperatures roughly about the same. Most of us are a little bit warmer. And your dew points, look at those. 74 for your dew point in Riverview right now. And those are, for the most part, along I-4 to the north, including the coast, are in the plus. Do expect those to go up a little bit more for tomorrow. So while we're not looking at near record high for actual temperatures, it's going to feel hotter. Like today, 85 will feel like 90. Tomorrow, 82 will feel like maybe 87, 88 with the higher dew points. And look at that big drop. I want you to notice Tuesday. This has been what the forecast has been saying for the past 5 days with our dew points in the teens. That is dry. So right now, things are looking pretty good. But you see offshore, we do have that trough. We do have some showers. But you see, for the most part, they're falling apart. So things are going to look pretty good for the rest of the day today. We'll be in the mid-80s, mostly sunny, warm, muggy. There's a 20% chance we could see maybe a pop-up shower later today. Now, later this evening, again, there's benchmark. And look at that, 80 right now as we get close to midday here, already feeling like 83 with that dew point sitting at 70. The Capitals are in town to take on the Bolts. And you see there we have 81 by 5 p.m. and puck drops at 7 p.m. 77 degrees. But do note that when you're leaving, when it's over with and you're walking back to your car, you could have a drop of rain or two. We're not looking at much of a chance there. And again, chances are relatively low for today all the way through tonight into early tomorrow morning of seeing maybe a stray shower or two. So again, not much going on. There's your 10% for tonight. I think the bigger issue for tomorrow morning is going to be fog. Look at the low, 70 is where we're going to start tomorrow morning. So it is going to be nice and warm. So look at the front. That is Texas. Now, I'm not talking about this. Let me get the pointer out here for you so you can see it. This is the low with the trough that could bring us a few showers today. That's where you're getting the storms that Lee was just talking about in Georgia. What we're looking at is this one here that's going to dip down through Texas, and it's going to be a pretty fast mover. That is what's going to be coming in as we go throughout Sunday night. So Sunday, we have some afternoon storms. We do have a weather impact alert for that. And again, the story that we're going to be talking about after that is going to be Tuesday. So let's get to tomorrow first. For your Sunday, we'll see scattered showers and thunderstorms, some pretty good coverage. So again, today, nothing really much, and even Monday, Tuesday, it looks like we're going to put in an extended, pretty dry forecast. So there's the front. There's our storms out ahead of it. We'll see a few showers in the morning, then some storms, and then there is the actual front, not coming till Sunday night into early on Tuesday morning. What's behind it? And I want you to take note of this too. This goes to show how cold that air is. Look at East Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio River Valley, up into the mountains of North Carolina. That is snow. And of course, that's not going to make it to us. What is that high pressure, and that high pressure is going to build in and stay for quite some time. So here's your future cast again. Here's the reason for the weather impact alert for tomorrow. Here's the rest of the day today. Not looking too bad. Now tomorrow morning, again, here's the potential for a few showers early. But again, as we get closer to 11, again, maybe 11, 12, 1 o'clock, that is where you're going to start to see those storms. And again, they could be as early as, there you go, here's going into 11, and there's 10 to 11. Then we go to 1 o'clock. Of course, there is kickoff. And there's 2:30, 3, 4 o'clock. We're still going to see those storms hanging out. And all this energy is pushing well ahead of that front coming through. We'll see things dying out going to the evening with maybe another push coming in. This is with the actual front itself. That's going to be coming through. There's 2 a.m. They fall apart. And then as we go to Monday morning, things are looking much better. Monday's just going to be a windy day. So your weather impact alert for Sunday is going to be due to those storms coming through, where the Storm Prediction Center actually has us in a marginal risk for severe weather. And it's 5%. That is the chance for wind and hail. So it's not much, but the timing right now is from 11 to 6. So be sure to check back here tomorrow just in case, because that timing could tweak a little bit. But it does look like, again, we do got a 50% chance. We'll be in the low 80s because, again, we'll see a few morning showers, so we'll be a little bit cooler. And this could impact this right here. There's Ray J. 82 feels like 86 today, so again, warm and muggy. But here is your forecast for the Bucs game. And that is the reason for the weather impact alert. We have the fair going on again for tomorrow, the Hillsborough County Fair, and the game. So the Patriots are in town. This is the big one after the bye week last week, where we have probably the best potential for storms is right around kickoff, unfortunately. So if you're out there tailgating, you'll see a few showers leading up until about noon. Noon to 1, we'll see some storms. And look at that, 40 to 50% actually from 1 through 2:30. So that takes you for the first half of the game through halftime. Now again, note that if there is lightning, this could delay the game. So it could delay the kickoff, or if the game gets started and there is lightning, that of course you'll need to exit your seat and you'll need to get underneath cover, and they'll delay the game. It does look like it does get better about 4 o'clock there, because again, it looks like about 3 o'clock the storm should be past the stadium and pushing their way inland. So again, that's the reason for the weather impact alert. Forecasted rainfall, not really that much, but we'll take what we can get. It looks like we're going to be at about 1/4 of an inch. So again, there's your weather impact alert for Sunday. Now, Lee, we were talking about this. You don't have much of a weather impact alert for Sunday just because of the timing of this coming in. But what you do have and what we have is some of the coldest air of the season coming in. So what does next week look like for you?
Oh my gosh. That's why we have a weather impact alert in effect for the cold air coming in. So we're going to have a rapid drop in temperatures. We're talking about near record heat here this weekend to record lows possible Tuesday morning, maybe even Wednesday morning. So you'll see that drop in temperatures by looking at our highs. We talked about the near record highs this weekend, middle 80s, and then down into the 50s at best in the afternoon, with mornings in the 30s. I'm afraid a lot of us are about to get sick. That is a huge temperature drop in a short amount of time. So Monday, that's the transition day. It's really Sunday night into Monday morning because the front comes through Sunday night, brings that rain for us. But again, it's later on Sunday. So we do not have a weather impact alert in effect. But then the cold air comes rushing in. And so I think our official high temperature on Monday, maybe it would land in the low 60s. That would happen at midnight to 1 a.m. So our high temp happening while we're sleeping. Temperatures drop down into the 40s, try to get back up into the 50s, but maybe stay in the middle 50s even for a lot of us Monday afternoon. Plus the breeze will start to blow, making it feel even colder. And then our weather impact alert goes into effect. We start it Monday night because that's when you need to start your preparations, because we will have feels like temperatures in the 20s Tuesday morning. So what do we need to do? Protect people, pets, and plants. For your people, make sure you're checking up on your neighbors, your loved ones. Make sure they all and you have ways to stay warm. Wind chills in the 20s. This is serious. So please make sure that you do have ways to stay warm. But if you are maybe putting a fire in the fireplace or you have a space heater, please be careful. Please make sure you're practicing all that safety. Pets need to come inside Monday night and again Tuesday night. And your plants that are sensitive to the cold weather have to be covered up or brought inside as well. We will have freezing temperatures for a lot of us Tuesday morning and again Wednesday morning. But it's really those wind chills in the 20s Tuesday morning too, so brutal. So I think Tuesday morning we will have our freeze for those inland spots, especially across southeast Georgia. Frost for a lot of us too, even up into the Jacksonville area, where frost might not form, the coastal areas, because it's a little too breezy, but it will absolutely feel like frost could form. Our morning lows in the 30s and then in the 20s for those inland spots. So cold. And then you add wind on top of that. Feels like temperatures in the 20s for everyone across the First Coast Tuesday morning. So as you're getting the kids out the door to school, you're getting out the door to work. Maybe you like to exercise outside or you got to take the dog out. You have to bundle everyone up, even those dog sweaters. I want to see the dog sweaters, or I love the sweaters and the blankets over the horses. It is just too cold, especially when you have that much of a shock to the system from 80s this afternoon and tomorrow afternoon to feeling like the 20s by Tuesday morning. James, I already have goosebumps. Oh my gosh. So very cold weather on the way. Then Tuesday afternoon feels like temperatures mainly staying in the 40s most of the day. I think they'll peak right in the low 50s for some of us in Northeast Florida. You're going to feel like the 40s all day in Southeast Georgia. And then, of course, Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, we are back down into the 30s. So quite the temperature range. For our low temperatures, you'll see that we start off in the middle 60s for tomorrow morning, down to freezing and feeling like the 20s Tuesday morning, freezing again Wednesday morning. But then we have that gradual warm up. This is what I mean when I think people get sick, because it's just such a roller coaster ride. It's extremely warm, record warmth, record cold, seasonal. So we're going from the 80s this weekend to feels like temperatures in the 20s Tuesday morning, freezes and frost, likely Wednesday morning freezing. Then Wednesday afternoon, hey, not too bad compared to where we are Monday and Tuesday afternoon. Getting through the 60s on Wednesday, and then we're right at seasonal in the middle 70s on Thursday and Friday. So, James, we have a huge temperature swing here in Northeast Florida, and I know you all are expecting something similar too for the Tampa Bay area. And do you have a weather impact alert as well in effect for this big temperature swing?
Yeah, and I have a feeling we're going to get some freeze warnings for portions up along the nature coast. Right now, the forecast is pretty close to freezing, and some of your areas a little bit maybe in the eastern part of Citrus County, Pasco County, places like that are going to be below freezing if you're a little bit further away from the water, maybe along that 75 to 75 corridor to the east. So some of your inland areas will be a little bit colder, but it's mainly because, again, this cold front, it's about the dry air that comes in behind this cold front. We know it's called radiational cooling. We've talked about it a few times, which we don't typically get that because we typically have humidity here. And that is why it doesn't cool off as much as we go throughout the overnight. That's why we have talked about in the past why it is so hard for places like Tampa, like St. Petersburg, to get down into the 40s this time of year with that water temperature being at 74. This is a very strong cold front. Now again, the rain and storms is just one aspect. We're going to be dealing with that for tomorrow. Again, not expecting severe weather. The reason for the weather impact alert is because it is Sunday and there's a lot of stuff going on outdoors. A lot of people, I wouldn't be surprised if the game tomorrow between the Bucs and the Patriots is sold out. So again, a lot of people are going to be outdoors and that's going to be a huge impact. But look at this dry air coming in back behind it. I want you to look at the legend at the top where the word dry is. It doesn't get any darker than that color right there. We're going to see dew points in the teens, and even in the middle of winter, that's not normal here. I'm trying to think back, last winter, which was actually this year, it was into January, I think, until I turned the heat on. So again, we had a very mild November and December, and then we did get some cold coming in. Of course, we all know what happened with that snow that came into the panhandle, not us. But that was just some of that cold air. But no, we're going to be dry after this front. So look at your moisture content. And again, we do see a little bit today, a little bit more tomorrow, and then look at the extended dry period. That is the dry air coming in. And there's your dew point, Tuesday of 16. Even Wednesday, Thursday, your dew point's below freezing, and then we start to climb back up Friday and into next weekend. So again, our weather impact alert is really the same. It's all cold. It's near record cold Tuesday morning, and I'm actually going for a forecast of 41 in Tampa. The record's 40. So again, going to be right near that. But what we're also looking at, of course, is again, we're looking at the wind. So this is just one forecast model going 44 for Tampa. And that's what I was going a couple of days ago. These forecast models keep coming in colder, so we have that potential. Here's your record lows. And you see a lot of them are going to be pretty close, if not broken. Brooksville forecast 35. Your old record is 37. There's Tampa 40. 41 for the forecast. And again, even Lakeland forecast of 42, your record's 44. Now St. Pete again, which is why it's so hard to get that cold, is because St. Pete's right there. It's surrounded three sides by water. So with that water temperature being 74, your forecast looks to be 49, maybe hovering around 50. One of the more comfortable spots there, but either way, it's not going to be comfortable because of this. There's your wind chills, and again, all for our area look to be below freezing. And I wouldn't be surprised if up near Crystal River, Homosassa there is also right around that 28 mark. So there's your low temperatures. And again, this is one forecast model that's going all the way down to 37 for Tampa. I don't think it's going to be quite that cold. I would not be surprised at all if we tie the record at 40. But look how slow that warm-up is. And look at the top there. Average low this time of year is 62. We don't get back to that till next Monday. So that's how long it takes for us to get some of that moisture back in the area to keep us from getting as cold through the overnight. So here's your 7-day forecast. And again, lightning look good for today, but the Bucs game, you're going to need to pay close attention to the radar for the Bucs game. Monday, it is going to be windy. And I got the weather impact alert again for Monday evening because they're going to be opening up some warming shelters for those who need that. So the weather impact alert for Monday night into Tuesday morning is the same thing. It's because of the cold. So there's your average low of 62. That's going to be our high on Tuesday, a high. Now, the record for the coldest daytime high is 58. So we're going to be close to that. But then we do start to climb back to close to our average high by Friday, but still not close to that average low. And speaking of averages, here's your holiday countdown. Thanksgiving, 19 days away. Average high 77, Christmas 74, New Year's Day 73, and again, our high for Tuesday is going to be 62. So it is going to be a cool day, that is for sure. So let's wrap this up, Lee, and talk probably about the best news, aside from, of course, today's forecast, and that is your tropical update. No expected development over the course of the next 7 days, which of course is wonderful news. And even beyond that, the Climate Prediction Center for November 12th through November the 18th, again, it's blank. And even beyond that, it is blank again, the 19th through the 25th. So things are looking pretty good. Here we are for hurricane season, almost a third of the way through the month of November. And again, things keep going down for the month of November, which is always good news there. But the reason why we're still keeping a close eye on this is because of the La Nina forecast. And I don't know why. I can play with this graphic all day and it's fine, but it's only when I want to show it does this thing never populate. But anyway, you look at it, we have a La Nina. There it is. Pop that back up. It's again, I don't know why it takes so long for that thing to populate. So here we are now. The signature does go down a little bit for November, December, and January. So there we are in November. And again, why we watch this is because of La Nina pattern. So we know the El Nino is cooler than normal and creates more wind shear. Now, warmer than normal is the El Nino. That creates increased wind shear. For us, unfortunately, it's La Nina, which means warm and dry and less wind shear. So that's why we watch that area. But this is what I want to show. This is what we'll end on right here, because this is all you really need to know. Lee, this is something you and I have talked about a lot. So we're watching the area again here in the Western Caribbean. And you see there is no wind shear. There is very warm water down here, but there is a lot of wind shear for anything that could potentially develop. And we know this is cold front after cold front after cold front. So Lee, looks like when it comes to hurricane season, we got some great news there, at least for the rest of the month of November.
Absolutely. I mean, we'll continue to watch that one area, as you said, but I think here locally, we're looking really good.
Yeah, it's like we got that wall protecting us, so we'll take that. So I hope everyone has a great rest of your weekend. Again, if you're going to the Bucs game tomorrow, be sure to tune in here tomorrow morning to watch the forecast for the timing, because it could slide a little bit, but then I don't think there's really anything that's going to help you with Tuesday except for a heavy coat. The only good thing is that it's Veterans Day and the kids will be out of school, so at least they won't be standing at the bus stop with these freezing temperatures. So we'll leave you with that. Hope everyone has a wonderful weekend.